Hello, leaders. Welcome to Digital Mandate brought to you by Tech Disruptor Media, a platform where we spotlight visionary leaders who are shaping the future of business and technology. I'm your host, Nisha Sharma, Senior Tech Correspondent at Tech Disruptor Media. Today, we have Hiral Shah, the Chief Information Security Officer at Elecon Group. With over 2 decades of experience in enterprise IT, risk management, and cybersecurity strategy, Hiral has been at the forefront of securing complex OT and IT environments in heavy engineering and manufacturing sectors. Thank you, Hiral, for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let's get started. My first question is, as a CISO, how do you see the role of cybersecurity evolving in the boardroom conversations today? As security is a major part of the industry and companies are taking it seriously. So, is security finally seen as a business enabler or and not just as a cost center?
Yeah, so this is a very good question, because nowadays the company to company, the role of CISO is something different, and if I can talk about the manufacturing industries where I'm working currently, so as a CISO, I see the cybersecurity becoming more important in the boardroom discussion, because it is no longer just about the protecting the data and the cybersecurity, but it is about the supporting the business growth and the reputation. The secondly, basically, in today's world, security is increasingly recognized, to unlock the new possibilities, providing foundation for the innovation and the growth as well for all the businesses, right? So the mature cybersecurity posture of organization build a trust with the customers and reduce the risk rather than just becoming a cost for the necessary expenses. So it is not a cost center nowadays. Yes, it is looking as a more and more the business opportunity. It is utilizing to build a trust with the customers and trust with the vendor and the brand reputation as well. So yeah, so this is my opinion basically as a CISO where I am working currently.
Definitely, definitely, because security is being the major part of companies' many breaches we have seen, and so entering into the boardroom is a good thing. So my next
Yes.
question is: with threats becoming a more sophisticated, what's your approach to building a strong, resilient cyber defense strategy, especially in hybrid or cloud-first setups?
Okay. See, there are maybe the best practices come in the place where we talk about the securing the entire environment, including the cloud first setup, right? So basically, as a best practices, we focus on the utilizing the multi-layer of the securities, and that is including most of the security controls, including the strong passwords are there, the multi-factor authentications are there, the regular updates of all the patches, and then encryption is also playing the one of the most part nowadays, and the most important part is the continuous monitoring and the maybe logging and monitoring for the entire environment that is 24/7, so that plays the major role. And additionally, if I can say that we ensure that all the systems and the data are backed up regularly, because that is the major risk about the ransom, and the ransom is there, the major risk about the malicious activities, the malware attacks are there, and a lot of the disruption can be possible due to the simple mistakes, right? So we focus on the regular backup as well. We also train our staff, to how to identify the suspicious activity, how to identify the phishing emails, basically, right? And also we use the tools and technology that definitely that will be with the automation of something where it can detect and respond to attack immediately, to prevent the environment. So yeah, so this is the activities generally we perform. But yes, the by end of this question I wanted to answer very simply, the training and awareness is the most important part. And if we have a multi-cloud, multi-layer environment, then definitely we're supposed to have a multiple layers of the security, which can be easily understandable by the organization, but it's supposed to be difficult to breach by the attackers.
So my next question is around zero trust. So as zero
Right.
trust is a hot topic but often misunderstood. So what's your take on implementing zero trust practically beyond the buzzwords?
Yeah, so I think you rightly said, zero trust is nowadays very much famous. Everybody's talking about zero trust, whether they have a complete understanding about the zero trust or not. But yes, each company, each employee is maybe everybody is aware about what is zero trust. Maybe they have some knowledge, they may be talking on the rumors. But what I understand and what is my experience, the zero trust. So what I can say, zero trust is the mindset instead of tools and technology, right? So we have to implement the mindset in the company, and that is nowadays the big challenge is if I can say, and you rightly said it is misunderstood completely in the company. If we talk about the zero trust with the top management or with the boardroom, they are asking about the tools and technology which support the zero trust. But what I say, zero trust is the mindset. We implementing the zero trust practically means treating every users and device as a potentially untrusted, right? There will be no trust, no authentication trust on any devices, anytime, anywhere, wherever they are. We verify the user's identity and security before granting access to them for any data or any system, whatever they access currently. So instead of assuming that users inside the network or whether users outside in the network, zero trust require continuous checks basically. So that is continuous authentication. That is called the zero trust in my experience basically, and that is basically, so this is the the real definition of the zero trust, right? And okay, and this approach help the protect the organization from this threat by non-trusting non-trusting anything automatically, because in organizations there are a lot of things are happening which is auto authentications are there, maybe the automations are there. But if we implement the zero trust with the mindset of the zero trust approach, then definitely the thing will be authenticate automatically. Everything will be having a authentication by the zero trust approach, and that will be more effective in the real situation, and that is required.
Rightly said. So, like, zero trust is actually working, taking a space in cybersecurity sphere, and it's more than a word, buzzword, but a important part of cybersecurity. So, my next question is around AI. So, how do you stay ahead of fast-moving threats like AI-driven attacks or ransomware as a service? Any tools or frameworks you rely on?
Yeah, so I completely agree. In the era of the AI, the challenging for all the CISOs how to secure the environment, because everything is AI trained, everything is machine driven, everything is basically the the you can say the mass mailing driven are there. So we follow some few of the best practices. I can give you some of the pointers. Maybe we implement the advanced threat detection tool, such as SIEM and SOAR are there. The EDR, XDR is there, which is the advanced threat detection solutions to monitor and analyze the suspicious activity in entire environment in the real time. So we implement the 24 by 7 security operations center with the reasonable advanced tools and technologies which can help us to identify the threats in the real-time environment. We also utilize the AI and the machine learning based security platform to identify the same type of attacks, because AI and ML attacks are too fast. They rapidly increase in the entire network. They rapidly fires the triggers in the entire network. So we use the same methodology to kill that or identify that areas of the threats. Apart from that, we regularly updates and patch systems, to reduce the vulnerability, to reduce the risk overall in terms of explored by the explored by the non-vulnerability. So we continuous monitoring, and we try to be patch with the whatever the patches are available by the OEM. We try to come up with the the secure solution which can help our data with the additional protection of the layers, right? We also conduct continuous security awareness training. That is most important part nowadays for all the employees, because no only CISO can secure the organization. We definitely require the support from entire company. CISO can only try to reduce the risk, but definitely employee in the company play the vital role to support the CISO and the security organization to awareness to provide the basically the security suspicious activities data if they know, right? So we conduct the continuous monitoring and the security awareness training as well for the staffs to recognize and the prevent social engineering attacks, right? We adopt a proactive threat intelligence framework. Yeah, so I think what you ask the framework, yes. So we follow the standard framework, that is the NIST, based on the NIST, we follow the framework, but yes, the ISO 27000 that is adopted by entire almost in the all the Indian entities. So we follow the same as well. And as a listed company, we are ruled by the SEBI. We are not a SEBI regulatory entity, but yes, we are the ruled by the SEBI in terms of the CSCR, the cyber resilience, and the cyber security. So we follow that framework as well, right? And also we deploy the automate and the maybe the automation tool to speed up the incident identification, the response. So this few areas, the few points or few practices we follow to reduce the risk in this era of the AI and the ML.
So my next question is around how culture is often is the biggest link. How do you embed the cyber awareness into everyday behavior across large organizations?
Okay, so culture is the bigger question, because if I can talk about the culture in this software-enabled industries, IT-enabled industries, that is completely different culture. But if I can say about this manufacturing domain and the other domain where IT is not a priority, basically it is on the somewhere they look like an expense center, they look like a business support, the back office support function. The culture is very difficult to digest or maybe to be trained in this environment. So what we do basically as the best practices and what we have implemented, to amend the cyber awareness into everyday behavior in the large organization like us, as an enterprise. We can start by providing we have started providing the regular simple training to all the employees by categorizing them, in this ground level staff to the managerial staff to the board members. We also involve that maybe this our senior leadership team as well in this regulars everyday, not everyday training, but yes, we generally spend this we spare or we spread that everyday tips for the cyber security, and we try to remind them for all the important things. Please make your password as strong as possible. We try to replicate our password policies. We try to we try to motivate them to be enable the two factor in all the applications. So that is our practices basically, and also we encourage our culture where employees feel responsible for the security and rewards guides habit so we run the campaign here you have to make this puzzle, or you have to will try to check the entire environment wherever we found the better the practices followed by the employee. We try to make them motivate with the specific rewards. So that culture we also try to keep it into the company. And also, we have made the cybersecurity as a part of our daily routine for us as well, for all the employees as well. So how we do this, we just try to create the screensavers, not a screensavers, but basically the basically the dashboard images, so we try to pop up the images on this all the desktop on the specific interval, reminding staff to use the strong password, recognizing phishing emails, and keep the software updated. So that practices we follow, and that is something innovative, and people definitely they are keeping the interest, and we got the better response in that. And for the leaders, definitely we just give the example with other leaders, basically if we want to speak with the specific leader in terms of this same practices, then we try to share this same example with the other leaders in the out of the industry or maybe outside of this company. And accordingly, I think they also adopt the practices. But yes, this is the tips of the security we generally keep in mind while we communicate with the employees.
Great, great, great. So because these practices are very nice, and I believe that together we can grow the culture if you work
Absolutely.
together. So together the company will grow, everybody will grow. So
Absolutely.
from our
Absolutely.
side, thank you, Hiral, for your insights and your guidance and practices were invaluable for our IT leaders and cybersecurity leaders. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned.